Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Simply Tish. How is everyone doing? I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. I haven't recorded in over a week. I've missed it so much, but sometimes you have to pull back. I wasn't feeling well, my son wasn't feeling well, and sometimes you just need a mental break, and when you need it, take it. So today I have decided that I want to make alcapurrias. Yay! As a child, I used to eat alcapurrias a lot. I just love them. They taste so good, but I never knew how easy they were to make, right? I used to watch my mom make it, my aunts, but I never really realized how easy it is to make. And so I'm going to show you guys how to make the masa, basically like the mixture, like the bread, I guess, but it's not really bread, but they call it like a dough, but it's really masa. You'll see. So what we have right here is I went and I got 5 plátanos, and I got about almost 5 pounds of yuca. And what we're gonna need with this is going to be salt and oil. You can use vegetable oil, olive oil. You can even go ahead and use shortening. So this is the thing. You can kind of do it to how you like it, how you would prefer it. If you would prefer to have less plátano, then take out some of the plátano. If you would like it to be only yuca, you can actually even make them only with yuca. I actually like them with plátano or green banana. I think it just tastes better. I've never been a fan of yuca like on its own. I don't really like the taste of it, or I just never was a fan. But these two together as for the masa, I think is really delicious. What I'm gonna go do right now is I'm gonna peel the both of them and put it in some water with salt. So yeah, let's go ahead and start making the masa. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take the plantains and we're gonna cut the ends of each of them. This is all they really had. They didn't have like the really nice ones. It's just right now with everything going on, it's like hard to get certain supplies. So you're gonna take the knife and you're gonna put it right here, and you're gonna make slits. It just makes it easier to open up. So just take the knife, and what I like to do is I take it in between and I just kind of hold it and I move it along the line, kind of separating the skin from the actual plátano, like this. And then you go ahead and you do it to the other side, like this. Once you do that, you're gonna go ahead and take your fingers and kind of like run it. My nails are in the way, but you could go ahead. Not happening the way I want it. Just go ahead and run it. I'm gonna use a knife. Usually it would come out nicer, but sometimes it just doesn't work in your favor. And that's how you go ahead and you just peel the whole thing like that. I'm gonna go ahead and do that to the plátanos. Okay guys, so I did the plátanos and I cut them in half and I put them in the salt water. Be careful when I think you should wear gloves if you don't really like, if you see in my hands right here, there's like a sticky like tackiness in between the plátanos, and they really stick to your hands and mess up your nails. Anyway, so now that I finished that, we're going to do the yuca. So basically, I guess you can use like you can go ahead and use like a peeler. I just feel like that's too much. I'd rather just do it with my hands, and I'm gonna go ahead and just take the knife and peel it like this. It's gonna take some work, some arm strength, because this is really tough. But just real quick, I want to show you guys how I'm peeling it, because it is actually really difficult. So what I did is like I hold it like this, and then I just take the knife and I just kind of go down like this, and it, oops, I don't do that. And it just is so much easier and quicker to just do it this way and to try to peel it like you would a potato. So yeah, that's how that's how I'm peeling it. I'm sure there's other ways that are much easier that I just don't know about. But right now, this seems to be working for me. Okay guys, so I finished peeling the yuca and the plátanos. Right now they're sitting in the salt water. This is the grater I'm using. First I'm gonna grate it, and then I'm gonna put it in a food processor just so that it's really blended in. So I was taking a plátano, and on this side of the grater, I was grating it. This is not my dominant hand, I'm just trying to show you. So therefore, I'm just gonna do it this way. We're gonna go ahead and grate the plátano and the yuca and put it in a bowl. So I just wanted to know that as I'm grating the yuca, oh my gosh, just as it's so hard to peel, it is so hard to grate. So just take your time, take your patience, have patience. Be careful not to cut yourself like I already did. And just keep on grating. Keep on grating.
2,000 years later.
Okay guys, let me tell you this. This recipe, as easy as it is for me, grating plátano is one thing, that's easy. Grating yuca is a whole nother story. My hands hurt. I cut myself deep. I mean, look at this. I'm gonna show you guys. Look at this. This is just from grating. It looks worse in person. You need one of those Puerto Rican blenders that you find in Puerto Rico where they mail it to you, or people make it in their backyards, okay? I don't have one of those. So I had to use a grater. And let me just tell you, it was blood, sweat, and tears. Literally. It really was. That yuca is something else. Okay, so this is what I have right now. This is the masa, that's how it looks. I feel like there's some chunkier pieces in here, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a hand mixer, but you can go ahead and use a food processor. Whatever you have works. I'm just gonna put this in here, and not all the way, like right there, and I'm gonna turn it on, and I'm just gonna put it around, kind of get all the chunkier parts, and make sure it's just all blended equally, seamlessly. Okay guys, so after I did the blending with the hand mixer, this is how it looks. It's so funny because it is kind of like a doughy, not really, but doughy consistency. So now what we're gonna go ahead and do, I'm gonna go and take salt, and I'm gonna put 2 teaspoons of salt. So after adding the salt, I'm gonna go ahead and add a packet of the sazon. Make sure it's the packet con achote, because you really need the achote. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a pack of this and just spread it all over. And at this point you can add olive oil. I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So after adding the olive oil, and I want to say you can actually add shortening to this, cooling shortening. I just decided to go ahead and use olive oil instead of adding anything else. But if you want, substitute it for shortening. I'm just gonna go ahead and mix this all together. Once you have it mixed all together, I'm gonna go ahead, cover it. Okay, so I went ahead and I used a spoon to mix it, but then I went in with my hands, the one hand that I didn't cut myself with, and I just mixed it all together, and this is how it looks. It smells so good. I know it's not cooked or anything, but the smell to me brings me back to my childhood. And so it has like such a great smell to it. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and cover this, set it in the fridge for, you can set it in the fridge for 3 hours till overnight. I'm gonna go ahead and just set it overnight and continue cooking in the morning. See you guys then. Hey guys, so it's the next day. The masa has been sitting in the fridge overnight. Now we're gonna get started on the meat. Guys, so I left the meat cook and then I went and I took out all the excess oil. The reason why I did that is honestly, it was just too much oil. I don't like the oil of the beef. So I took out all of that oil, and I'm literally just gonna do like a little drizzle of olive oil, not a lot, because I still feel like there's oil in there, and so there's no need to put so much oil. So now in this, right here I chopped up about a cup of onions, and then, oh, sorry. This is about 3 garlic cloves of garlic. So to this, we're gonna go ahead and add the garlic, add the onions, and I'm gonna let this cook for maybe about 5 to 7 minutes, just until the onions become more translucent. Okay guys, so the onions and the garlic have been cooking in the beef for about 5 minutes. I just want to show you guys. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add the sofrito. These are spicy. They have habanero peppers in it, along with everything else that goes in sofrito. So this is that sofrito, the regular sofrito that I made, and then this right here is basically cilantro and onion. That's really it in there. And so I'm gonna go ahead and throw these different kinds of sofrito in here. And we're gonna go ahead and let that melt and cook into the meat as well. So the sofrito melted into the meat, which is what I wanted. So to this, I'm just gonna go ahead and add just a little sprinkle of garlic powder, about 1 teaspoon of onion powder. We're gonna go ahead and add adobo. Just remember to do it to your taste. I'm gonna just add that for now until. I also like to add salt. I feel like it helps me to put less adobo. I don't know. It's all in my head maybe. And then to this, I'm gonna go ahead and add ham powder and the sazon con achote. And that's what I have right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and sprinkle that. I'm using about a packet and a half each of the ham powder and the sazon. If you feel like you need more, go ahead and add it. Also, since I had the frozen cilantro cubes, I didn't add regular, just fresh cilantro. If you want to, go ahead and add it. There's no problem with doing that. You can also go ahead and add ham pieces to this. That would be really good in here too. I just went and added the powder. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a turn. At this point, I feel like I'm gonna add some more olive oil, only because I feel like it's a little dry. So that was about maybe half a tablespoon of olive oil. I'm gonna go ahead and give this all a mix and let this cook on the stove for maybe about 20 minutes to get all the juices together. After that, we're gonna turn it off, put it to the side, and let it cool down for about 30 minutes. So I went and I washed my hands really good, and I decided to try to do it with my hands to see if I can get a better grip on it. And it actually seems to work better if you use your hands. And you see, you just work your hands around until you get the shape that you are looking for. I think it's like a little basketball. But yeah, just go ahead. I'm using my hands, make sure you wash them. And this seems to work much better. So I have some oil here, vegetable oil. And I'm gonna go ahead and place this in the oil gently. That didn't work so well. I'm having like a hard time putting them in, and honestly I think it's because you're supposed to use green bananas, but they didn't have, you can use plátanos, but it's calls for green bananas, and they didn't have any green bananas anywhere here. So I went and I just used plátanos, and I don't really like how the texture is. The texture is a little hard to manage, but it's still doable. But if you're going to do this recipe, hands down, use green bananas. It's a different texture than a plátano, and it's more milder in its flavor. It's not as rooty, if that makes sense. So right here I have them cooking. I just have it on medium high, and I'm going to cook this for maybe about 5 minutes. This is how my version of alcapurrias came out. Okay, so I love the color. I love how they taste. To be real, the only thing I would have done differently, honestly, is definitely find those green bananas. They still taste like alcapurrias. They taste really, really good. I love the color. But because of the plátanos, I feel like they were harder to mold. But besides that, and they have more of a stronger taste, I would use the bananas next time. This is how they came out. They came out so delicious, and I'm so happy. Even though I wish I would have used green bananas, they still taste really good. This is how they came out. It's so lovely. My first time making alcapurrias, by the way. I've seen them be made a lot, but I've never made them. I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. May you continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn that notification bell on. It truly helps me. And if you guys have any suggestions, any comments, anything you would like to say, any questions, just go ahead and leave them down below. I look forward to making my next video. And yeah, until next time.